Today I'm bringing you guys very bullish, not just bullish news, Giga bullish news, which also, by coincidence or not, is also pumping our Ethereum trade and is sitting at a small profit. However, I think that these guys will reverse today. So all information in due time, so that's why please subscribe, hit that notification bell, make some noise down in the comments for the algorithm so more people actually see this content, and watch it till the end. And don't complain in the comments if you're confused down the road, because I've never changed my outlook for the last 6 months. So always watch my videos from the beginning until the end. So let's jump in. So we see some momentum, some really nice pump in ETH, and also the same thing in Bitcoin for obvious reasons. And right now in Bitcoin, we're actually coming up on this very important resistance of 71,000, which is basically the resistance of this entire range that we've been in since literally what? Since March and April, which is freaking insane if you think about it. An entire year in this range alone, which is just devastating. But anyway, what I'm gonna give you in this video, you can understand what is gonna happen literally around the corner, probably a couple of weeks at the most. So first of all, let me just quickly tell you that if you use my link to buy Bit down description of this video, you can claim up to $30,000 initial deposit bonuses, regardless of what kind of deposits you actually make. Depending on the size, you can claim up to 30K in deposit bonuses. And also if you deposit more than 100,000 and you're a whale, you can actually claim a 42% discount on your trading fees, which translates into you saving thousands of dollars, which is just insane. So if you already have a Bybit account, you can create a new one using a different form of identification, such as a driver's license. So use my link down in the description of this video, sign up, get all these bonuses. Now, let's move on to the first piece of news, which is gonna be, we're gonna, as always, paint the picture and then give you the conclusion. So in terms of inflation, it was actually in line with expectations in terms of CPI. The previous was 2.6, forecast 2.5, it came in at 2.5. However, the core, it was 2.6, forecast 2.5, came at 2.6. So not that very good. So it is kind of stagnating a little bit, and the drop is slowing down, and this is very slow. However, again, remember, this indicator is extremely lagging, and the Fed knows this. So therefore, the chance of the first rate cut in September still stays at 94%. So that being said, well, I mean, you already know what that means, right? But anyway, let me give you something more, because I know you guys want more juice in this video. So that's why subscribe, hit the notification bell. Show me some love down in the comments for the algorithm so more people see this content, and let's go. So first of all, we saw, and I know we're gonna speak about Trump and everything he said, and Cynthia Loomis, etc. So we'll get into it. Now, first thing I wanted to give you, which is also important, that Michigan retirement system has bought 6.6 million Bitcoin through the ARK ETF. So we have state of Wisconsin, also through the pension fund. We have Michigan right now, and also Jersey City. The mayor of Jersey City came out and said basically the same thing. So this is New Jersey. So we have 3 states in the United States of America actually buying Bitcoin. Are you? Well, yeah, I mean, let's keep going. The $108 billion Van Eyck CEO, again, remember, this guy is worth a lot, says that he owns over 30% of his portfolio, his personal portfolio, in Bitcoin. This dude is gonna make, this is gonna be the craziest trade. Like I'm saying, my Ethereum trade is crazy. Like it's just peanuts compared to this guy right here. So smart people of Wall Street, the richest people of Wall Street, are upwards of 30% allocated to Bitcoin alone. You still don't believe in Bitcoin? I got more shit for you. Let's go. So next thing is certainly the Donald Trump speech in Nashville, Tennessee at the Bitcoin conference. So was it bullish? In my opinion, it was not just bullish, it was mega giga bullish. And I know that the price didn't really pump, to 75K or whatever, because it kind of came in line with expectations. He didn't really say anything extra. But the stuff he said was just wow. Again, remember that his chances of winning right now are really high. So I would be really surprised if that lady, Kamala, whatever, that looks pretty freaking ridiculous if you ask me, and she's a Democrat, and with everything that happened with Biden, people voting for her are just, in my opinion, just not all there. So it's just as obvious that the biggest chances there are for Trump to actually win currently, it's just undeniable. And so let's see what he said. So first and foremost, he said on day one, he will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman. Okay, so we have already his vice president is pro-Bitcoin, owns NFTs and altcoins and shit. So, and then he's going to be firing Gary Gensler on day one. So this is huge. He's going to create a US strategic national Bitcoin stockpile if elected, and he's going to use those 200,000 Bitcoin that were seized. And he's going to say that they will never sell any of that Bitcoin and use it for strategic reserves for the United States, which is insane, but this is not all. US government will keep, as I said, 100% of the Bitcoin it owns, which it owns a lot, 200,000. He also said the things like Bitcoin is going to the moon, never sell your Bitcoin. He also said that Bitcoin will one day probably surpass the market cap of gold, which it will, definitely, in my opinion as well, just as Michael Saylor has said so many times. So, and that would put the price of Bitcoin above $800,000 per Bitcoin, and it is very probable. He also reaffirmed the pledge to commute Ross Ulbricht's sentence, and he spoke that there will be no CBDC in the United States. Bitcoin and crypto will skyrocket like never before if he's elected president. So if you're in the US and you're voting, make sure you vote for Trump. Bitcoin is not threatening the dollar, and the current US government is threatening the dollar. So he actually said that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world in terms of mining, accumulation, etc. And Bitcoin stands for freedom, sovereignty, and independence from the government of coercion and control. This is what Bitcoin is. And this is what Trump is actually fighting, because what Democrats are currently doing, and even Google is suppressing the search where you actually put in Donald Trump assassination, it actually just doesn't even give you a search result. It's ridiculous. So that's how much suppression there is. And therefore, Bitcoin actually stands in opposition for these kinds of principles and concepts. And he actually admitted to this during the conference. So this is, wow. And he also pledged to the Bitcoin community that the day he will take oath in the office, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris anti-crypto crusade and the entire anti-crypto crusade and this choke point 2.0, whatever it was called, will be finally over. Whew. So, not bullish enough? Okay, so right after, his guest was right after him was Cynthia Loomis. And she actually came about, and in her speech, she actually announced a bill for strategic Bitcoin reserve, and that the US will have an asset that can cut the US debt in half by 2045. And basically what she said many things, but one of the things she also said that she also proposed the US to buy 1 million Bitcoin, which is 5% of the total supply over the next 5 years, in addition to the 200,000 of Bitcoin that it currently holds. So therefore you can see, and I mean, maybe she will become the Treasury Secretary, so pro-Bitcoin, and then we actually are gonna see the accumulation by the United States of Bitcoin. I mean, guys, the price of Bitcoin in that instance would be easily going to $1 million. Like, I mean, it's a no-brainer. The United States is a powerhouse. They're gonna be using this to actually try to fix their colonial broken shit fiat system, the dollar, and actually back it in a way, and wait until Bitcoin is worth millions and millions to actually have it some kind of an impact for their balance sheets, etc. So, and then actually at least try to help the dollar. And I think that it's all intertwined. I think that all of this has been created initially as a master plan, in my opinion, quite frankly. The rest is theater. I think that Larry Finn and BlackRock and everything that is happening right now, and with all the regulations and the election right now, this is what they want to do. I think maybe it was even thought about in 2010 or 2012 when Bitcoin was its bare inception. That's why maybe the NSA or CIA didn't kill it back then, because they actually realized that they can use it, or maybe they even created it themselves to, at some point, try to solve the issue with the dollar. Who knows, right? So this brings me to the chart then, but this is just my mere speculation. You can let me know down in the comments what you guys think. All I care about right now is that our trade keeps pumping. That's why I told you that I'm not closing my trade. And okay, yeah, Ethereum, so very important. We spoke about Bitcoin, but Ethereum, I mean, it is not pumping as crazily as everything else. Why? Because of one reason. And this is the same reason we spoke about in the previous video, that is selling pressure from Grayscale. And it will continue. So far, they've sold about 1.5 billion. So probably they will sell another 3.5 if it's going to be the same trajectory as with Bitcoin ETF. So the selling pressure will be on. So I would not be surprised that this week we'll actually dump again, maybe in the area of 3K. So this plan right here that I outlined before the red line, which is the end of the dump, in my opinion, which is probably going to be like the first week of August, maybe second week of August at the most. And this is when we're going to finally move off, when this Grayscale dumping is out of the way, just like what we've seen with Bitcoin. So Therefore, as I said, I'm not, because of this possibility of a dump, which is still in the cards, guys, I'm not closing my long trade. Rather, I want to scale it much further if Ethereum dumps because of grayscale, and still is likely to do so. But if it doesn't, and it just stays at 2.3 million, and we made just 5 million off of this trade when Ethereum hits 10K per ETH, so be it. But remember, guys, look at the data and see it for what it is. Because what is happening right now, and the probabilities of the craziest bull run ever in the history of cryptocurrencies, is literally on our fingertips. So if nothing slips, then we're gonna be really happy in literally like 6 months. So stay smart. Check out this quick tutorials to help trade Bitcoin with proper risk and money management. And as always, peace and love. Thumbs, stay smart, stay insanely rich, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.